It's the rude awakening that men have needed for thousands of years.
I have 4 big things to say about this, but first of all, I'm not quite sure where this belief came from that if more women divorce their husbands, that these men are just going to believe that it was all their fault and they're going to grow and get better. No, there's never just fault on one side, and men know that. Second of all, most men that go through divorce end up losing a lot in the form of lost time with their children and financially through spousal support and child support. So many men just feel victimized by the court system. Thirdly, a lot of these men that get put through the ringer, they eventually build themselves back and they realize that they're a lot happier being single. It's actually a lot more peaceful for them. And fourthly and lastly, a lot of men never want to get married again, or in the first place, because they hear women like this talking about divorce as if it's some sort of punishment for her not being happy, as if his needs and the family's needs have nothing to do with it. And men are smarter than that.
Welcome back to Manosphere Daily. Let's jump into the video.
Does money have a factor in you just being, like, I guess, a trad wife?
What do you mean? Like,
does your husband make really good money?
yeah, so he makes really good money.
Okay.
He provides for the family.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about money whatsoever.
Now, if you were with a man that didn't make good money, would you still be that?
Yes, I would. I don't think that's everything, but I do think, like, as women, we're looking for a provider and a protector. And since my husband fully provides for me and my daughter, I'm able to fully walk in my role as a woman, being feminine, being able to take care of the home and being a homemaker. So I'm happier because I'm able to correctly walk in my role as a feminine woman.
They keep asking why men aren't proposing anymore. But deep down, everyone knows the answer. Modern women want the wedding, the photos, the attention, the status, but not the marriage. Because marriage takes teamwork. It takes loyalty. It takes sacrifice.
Hating your husband?
No, I don't think I will, for multiple reasons. Well, first of all, normalizing consistent feelings of hatred towards someone is called Stockholm Syndrome. And to be clear, you're not supposed to have that. It's definitely true that probably every person who's been married or in a long-term relationship has had a moment where they're like, oh my God, I could wring this person's neck. The difference is whether they handle that issue privately or publicly. Because when those feelings are dealt with privately, it can be worked through. But if you let that hatred be shown to the general public for even 1 minute, it will change how they view your spouse forever. So before you get too cozy marinating in and justifying holding on to one of the worst, most self-sabotaging feelings you could possibly have toward a person who I'm sure if you heard them say that they hated you, you would be crying in fetal position on the floor, just remember you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube.
And today's modern culture teaches the opposite. Me first. My career. My freedom. My fun. Men see it. Men feel it. And men are walking away.
Women today still interested in marriage?
100%.
What percentage of modern women are marriage material?
90%.
25%, really? Okay, maybe like I'd say like 75.
75, okay. What does it mean to be marriage material?
I think it just means to, like, if you love your man enough and, like, you respect each other on, like, a personal and emotional level.
You have to have the person that you want to love and be with for the rest of your life. That's it. That's all that matters.
Not cheating, that's a big one. Being
I
loyal.
think just as long as you, like, genuinely love the person you're with, you can make anything work.
Modern women demand traditional men, but refuse to be traditional women. They want a provider, a protector, a leader, but they don't want to cook, clean, support, or build a home. They want a 1950s husband while acting like a 2025 boss babe. And that contradiction? Men are tired of it.
He goes, and he's 42 now, he goes, I would never marry a woman in her 30s. Why? Because I know that she's not marrying me for the genuine desire. At this point, she just wants to settle down. Now, that might be an extreme argument to look at it, and I understand that group statistics don't apply to an individual, but that's a scary thing to think about. And so I'm like, so who are you going to marry? You're 42. He's like, he's like, I think if I get married, it'll be, I'll meet a girl 22, 23. It's a big age gap, but he's got 120 mil. He's got the life, like he's got women available to him at that option. He doesn't have to deal with the history. That's his biggest fear, is dealing with the history.
I will agree, actually. So I met my partner at work and it literally seriously lucked out. But Before that, when I was looking on Tinder, you've got divorcees, you've got dads. I don't want to be with somebody that's got kids already that aren't, that you've got slim pickings at 35, 34. So in that case, I can see that a lot of women would probably settle.
All the strong, independent women out there, you will never be able to compete with a girl that's attractive and 21 that works at McDonald's, even though you're a boss babe that makes $100,000 plus a fucking year. It does not matter because men are not attracted to the same things that you're attracted to.
Everywhere you look, it's entitlement over effort. They say, I deserve a high-value man, while bringing nothing but attitude, debt, and expectations. Meanwhile, men are expected to be perfect, rich, loyal, in shape, emotionally stable.
Single man, be very careful choosing girl because women nowadays are looking for help, not love.
Any woman that doesn't appreciate a man or feel like they don't need a man, any woman that's ever uttered those words is not fit to be a wife. And if you feel like you don't need a man, when you get your man, you're going to treat your man like you don't need him without even knowing it. Whether it's subconsciously, inadvertently, or overtly, you're going to do that. And you're not fit to be a wife. So we can start there. That type of woman is not fit because, again, we need each other. A woman who doesn't understand what her role is not fit to be a wife. Your role is not to challenge your husband. Right. Your role is not to compete with your husband. Right. Your role is not to be an agitator or a nuisance to your husband because he's doing things you don't like. You're not fit to be a wife.
Well, she can't even offer basic respect. And here's the truth most won't admit. Modern women aren't single by accident. They're single by design. They spent their 20s partying, telling good men to try harder, chasing attention instead of commitment. And now they're shocked the men they rejected moved on.
If there's one thing this whole Simone Biles situation showed us is that there are two types of women in this world. There are women who want to serve her husband, cater to her husband, and play that traditional wife material role. And then there are women who don't want to do none of that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you and your husband love it, I like it. Who am I to say, oh my gosh, that is wrong? But what I've been noticing though, a lot of those women who don't want to play that traditional wifey role will call women who do play those roles a pick-me. And that's the issue there, because Simone Biles played a role of she is going to, for lack of better words, submit in that first interaction and message him first and initiate the conversation. And look how many women are calling her, a pick-me. No, the issue with that though, a lot of these women expect men to play that traditional leadership protector role, but they don't want to play that catering, serving, submissive.
Marriage material women tend not to want so many alternatives all the time. They tend not to want so much male attention because they actually prefer to just invest in one. But that woman who kind of posts all the time and all of these things, there is an element of narcissism in there. That woman who's doing all of those things is actually probably not ready for a relationship and is probably not marriage material.
Men aren't avoiding marriage because they hate women. They're avoiding marriage because it's become a liability. One wrong woman, one divorce, and a man loses his house, his kids, his savings, sometimes even his peace.
So my guy friends are in the other room and I just asked them 5 of the biggest reasons why they would not make a girl into a girlfriend. Basically 5 of their biggest icks or red flags for a girl. Number 1, if she parties way too much. They're okay with a girl having a bit of fun, but if a girl is too comfortable going off the rails partying, they just don't consider that wifey or girlfriend material. Number 2 is when a girl talks like a bro. Her tone is a little bit too harsh and masculine, and she uses words like bro and dude. That's friend zone language. Number 3, when a girl has way too much work done. They said even if a woman is so beautiful with so much cosmetic surgery, they still wouldn't be so interested because they want something real and authentic. They don't like that super fake look. Number 4, they actually disagreed on this one, but when a woman tries to control you or acts too motherly. They want a partner, not a mother. No one wants to be intimate with their mother. Number 5, when she smokes cigarettes and smells like cigarettes. Major ick for them.
Ladies, let me put you on game real quick. Let's get into it. Some of y'all think that simply because y'all fine and you got you a cute little resume, you are deserving, entitled to a man spoiling you, spending surplus of his hard-earned money on your bills, shopping sprees, and random luxurious vacations without you having to give anything in return. And then you have the nerve to get mad when that man does inevitably want something in return. Now, you and I both know that nothing in this life is for free. And you are the one who put a price tag on yourself. You put yourself on the auction block and you said sold to the highest bidder. You objectified yourself, especially when you put out to the universe that you can be bought at a certain price. Don't be mad when men who have it or pretend to have it come at you doing just that and nothing else. Stop valuing what's superficial over what's deep. It's the things that money can't buy that truly matters. I'm telling you that from experience. I know what culture is telling you, but that's gonna keep you empty and single.
So men are choosing the safer option. Their freedom, peace over chaos, stability over drama, logic over pressure.
That allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
And with all that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk.
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
Wait, then you're not gonna be ready for commitment?
It's many reasons why I am not marriage material, and one of them is I go with the flow. I don't entertain unrealistic expectations, and I don't make certain demands like, you better commit your life to me. Because let's be realistic, most people haven't even committed to their own personal growth. So I ask myself, what does commitment look like from another person that I can't give myself? And when the answer hits, it's usually that I'm out here just claiming a motherfucker. I don't need to put no collar around nobody's neck, and I don't need to chase nobody down to try to domesticate them because they don't have no self-control. Y'all get on the internet all day, every day, talking about y'all can't keep that thing in your pants. If you want to operate in your animalistic nature, roam free. But I already found the commitment in me.
Modern women say men are afraid of strong, independent women. No, men are just done auditioning for people who bring nothing to the table.
Women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships, it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes. You know, he doesn't get youth anymore. So he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid. So he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her. And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kid. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it? But like men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men.
Men are going to treat you, first of all, how you treat yourself. Secondly, men are going to treat you and respond to you how you treat them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like if you're limiting yourself, if you've put yourself in a situation where it's like, you know, I'm only going to do so much for a man that I'm with and that I want to be with, then you're really cutting yourself short, because at the end of the day, if this is the man and he's treating you right, and what you want is two different things, necessarily not the same, right? Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not.
A good woman is still marriage material, but modern society raised far too many girls and not enough wives.
I find it very ironic that men love to yap about, that's all men, but some men love to yap about, like, women don't want to be married anymore, and they're, like, mad at women for not wanting to be married, but they also run with this narrative. I mean, if you don't want to be married, that's fine. I don't want to get married either, period. Like, I think that everyone has to make that choice for themselves, because I don't see a benefit to being married, unless I were to have kids, which I don't want. And I also find it even funnier because men will complain about modern women when the only problem they have with modern women is that modern women aren't submissive, is that, like, modern women don't care about being married, don't care about having children, they don't care about male validation. That's why y'all hate modern women so fucking much, because women have the choice to live a life that they want to live, because women can make their own money now. Women can support themselves now. Women don't rely on men anymore. That's why y'all are fucking mad at modern women for being able to make that choice. Y'all are acting as if women back in the day really had a choice. Women were relying on men financially. Women didn't have a choice back in the day. That's why most people were married, because of that. And also, y'all are mad at modern women for being way more educated than modern men in general. Y'all are mad at modern women for being educated enough to make the choice for themselves. So that's why you hate modern women, because they don't live into your stupid little fantasy of being a submissive little slave for you.
And now they're discovering something painful. Men don't need marriage to be happy, but modern women absolutely depend on it.
Around 60% of married women literally say that they would rather nap and read a book instead of having sex with their husband. What's happening is that these women, they get to freely enjoy sex, so they sleep with the chads, the higher testosterone, the guys who choke them and slap them, and eventually she goes through a bunch of guys like this and they don't really want to commit. They're too boisterous and adventurous, and this type of man is very hard to settle down unless she's a very, very good woman. But then once she's been through experiences like that, eventually she gets kind of tired of this cycle of these guys who just keep fucking her and they don't get into a real relationship. A lot of girls are experiencing this problem right now, and then eventually they meet a real man like you and they start like praising you, like, yes, he's a real man, he wants a relationship. This is the dynamic that she's enjoyed the alphas, and now she wants to just chill with a beta.
That's the irony of 2025. The ones who shouted, "I don't need a man," are the same ones begging for one now. This is Manosphere Daily, where we don't sugarcoat the truth.
And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.